iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto, get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. So much to discuss, so much to talk about. Let's just get it started right now. First of all, breaking news, really breaking news. The Second Circuit Court has granted Ezekiel Elliott a stay in the suspension. He is allowed to play Week 9. Take out Alfred Morris, take out Darren McFadden, take out Rod Smith. Zeke Elliott's back in town. I can't tell you what's going to happen next week. I can just tell you right now, this week, he's going to play. Okay? Good news there for Zeke owners. You get another week. I think eventually he's going to serve the suspension, but it's not going to be in Week 9, most likely Week 10. That would be my prediction. And then we'll get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe he comes back in the championship game. But he's doing a good job of trying to get you to the championship game. That's what he's doing. All right? So Zeke Elliott playing week number 9. You know who's not playing week number 9? Deshaun Watson. I am so upset. Seriously. You know that song, American Pie, The Day the Music Died? That's almost how I feel here with Deshaun Watson. It was like the day the fantasy football died. It was just, he was such a bright light for me this season. You know, I consider him my guy, right? Because if you listen to these podcasts, you know that I gave you Watson before anybody in this industry was on Watson. I gave you Watson, didn't I? And you know if you're listening, that's true. So I almost feel like he's a Roto child. Normally I don't have quarterbacks as Roto children, but if I were, he would be my Roto child. That's how close I feel to him. And I'm so deeply upset for him, for the Texans, and obviously my fantasy teams, because I had Watson all over the place. Had him all over the place. So this is just, I just have no, speechless. The only words I have are speechless. How do you recover from this? You don't. You don't go from Deshaun Watson to Tom Savage. You don't. It's like going from a Bentley to a used Yugo. You don't do it. You're driving around in a Bentley, and now you got to look at a used Yugo. No interest. It decimates DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, Lamar Miller, you name it, it's all downhill. And look, we used to live in Texas, live about an hour from Houston. I like that city. I like the fans. And I felt the fans were getting energized. They lost J.J. Watt. That's tough. The fans, Hurricane Harvey, they had that. And now to lose Deshaun Watson. I know you won the World Series. I get the Astros won. But man, to lose Watson and Watt in the same season, that just shouldn't happen to any franchise. Just shouldn't happen to any franchise. So I'm crestfallen, I'm heartbroken. Any words that you want to put to it, I am, from the bottom of my heart. So here's my fear with Tom Savage. I think that we're going to underestimate Savage. He's slightly better than you think he is. Week 1, he played the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we know that the Texans have no offensive line. So, Jacksonville killed him. So that may not happen again because most teams don't have a defensive line as good as Jacksonville. So that's 1. 2, Savage is not that bad. Certainly better than Brock Osweiler. But it's not good. See, the thing about it is Deshaun Watson's mobility creates running lanes. Mobile quarterbacks create running lanes. So Lamar Miller has a better opportunity. Because they're afraid of the run, it's more deception, right? On the pass, meaning DeAndre Hopkins is just a little bit more open. Will Fuller, a little bit more open. Now these guys have to make plays because Tom Savage is just sitting in the pocket. It's not good. Is Colin Kaepernick the answer? That's a really good question. I mean, I'm not a big Kaepernick guy, even before this whole thing happened. But his style of play is more like Deshaun Watson than Tom Savage. Truth is, he doesn't know the offense, and he's not a great player. He's overrated. He's overrated. He's an improviser. So I think they're doing the right thing staying with Savage, but it's just a terrible, terrible injury. Overlooked by this injury is Pierre Garçon, who's going to the injured reserve. Here you have the San Francisco 49ers, and they don't have a number one receiver. Seriously. Who do they have? Marquise Goodwin, Aldrick Robinson, and Trent Taylor? Good luck with that, my friends. Yeesh. So this team's got some issues. I mean, Garçon was the stability. So on one of my teams in the SiriusXM Host League, I have the most points by like 100. I'm 7-1 this year. Thank you to Deshaun Watson and Pierre Garçon. Two guys I can't replace. Luckily, I had Russell Wilson as my other quarterback. And luckily, I do have Devontae Parker coming back, but still, I was going to win that league by 200 points. 200 points. Now, I don't know about that. So for all you people who have Deshaun Watson, here's what I'm going to say. You didn't draft Deshaun Watson. I didn't draft Deshaun Watson. I freely admit that. We picked him up. We got a really great ride. It was a great ride, and it probably brought us 4 to 5 fantasy victories this year. But you know what? I'll take them. It gave us a lot of points. It gave us victories. It put us in a position to be in the playoffs. Now it's our job to respect his memory and to get him to get us to the playoffs. Do it for Deshaun. All right? Last night's game, the Jets against the Bills. The Jets looked really good. It was 10-7 at halftime, but you never really felt like the Bills were in this game. Josh McCown driving the bus, 14 for 20, 140 yards and a touchdown, but Matt Forte looked good. Bilal Powell looked good. Elijah McGuire looked good. They gave him the ball at the end of the game. Robbie Anderson makes his usual touchdown catch. It was a great job by the Jets, and the defense was out of control. Out of control. 7 sacks. 7 sacks and 3 fumbles. That's great stuff. The Bills just didn't look like they wanted to be there. The Bills are much better at home than they are away. Away, they're 1-3 on the year. I'm just throwing that out there. So I like the Bills, but I like them more at home, and I'm going to remember that from now on. Tyrod Taylor, 29 for 40, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. When Tyrod has numbers like that, you know the Bills are losing. They don't want to throw the ball 40 times. LaShawn McCoy was a non-entity, 12 for 25. That was a disaster. Zay Jones looked pretty good, 6 for 53 and a touchdown. Deontay Thompson looked pretty good, 7 for 81 and a touchdown. Jordan Matthews looked okay, but they need Kelvin Benjamin. They need Kelvin Benjamin. It's going to be a great fit in that offense. Look, the Bills players, Richie Incognito, was not being very incognito when he talked about Thursday Night Football. I despise it. I despise Thursday Night Football. I hate Roger Goodell on so many levels, and this is one of them. Anything for money. We should change the NFL to be AFM. Anything for money. We'll put guys out there after 3 or 4 days and let them play. Sure, it's really great for the fans. We love it. It's really great for fantasy. We love it. It's really great for the players whose bodies need time to recover. We love it. It's all crap. Anything for money. Bad football. Do I think the Bills would have lost this game on Sunday? Maybe. But we'll never know. I know they were going to lose on Thursday because they weren't in that game at all. It was like they weren't prepared. No. You know what? That's the coach's job to get his team prepared. I agree with that. But still, it didn't look very good. All right, time for the hot takes. Week number 9. A lot of teams on bye. Chicago, Cleveland, Minnesota, New England, Pittsburgh, Chargers, all on bye. Let's do the hot takes. Let's get it started. Baltimore and Tennessee. Really interested to see how Tennessee looks after the bye week. How's Mariota with some rest? How's Derrick Henry? And how's DeMarco Murray? How are they going to split the carries? Welcome back, Corey Davis. These are things I want to see in that game. For Baltimore, I don't want to see anything. I mean, really, there's nothing to see. Maybe Mike Wallace. Maybe Macklin. Maybe these guys healthy, how they play with Joe Flacco. Not very interested. Tampa Bay, New Orleans. I think this is a big game here. First of all, New Orleans at home. Always love Drew Brees at home. Love Michael Thomas. Love Alvin Kamara. Love Mark Ingram. Love me some Ted Ginn. Okay, so I know what I want to look at for the Saints. For Tampa Bay, how's Jameis Winston's shoulder? How has he rebound this week after last week's debacle? Can they get Mike Evans integrated into this offense? Can Doug Martin get a running game going? If they don't, the Saints are going to win this game by 25 points because Drew Brees does his thing at home. Can Tampa Bay, if they want to be a playoff team, they better make it happen right now. The Rams at the Giants, I'm interested in this team. Interested in this game, Jared Goff, how does he do against the Giants defense? The Giants, do they have any passing attack whatsoever now that Shepard and Lewis are back and they're not playing the Broncos and the Seahawks? How do they do against the Rams? Is Todd Gurley going to go for another 100 yards? Can the Rams win a game on the East Coast like this? Intriguing game. Can the Rams defense, who've let up 8 touchdown passes on the road this year, how will they do against Eli Manning? Will Eli Manning throw the ball 30 or 40 times? A lot of questions. Denver at Philadelphia, I'm very worried about Zach Ertz. If Zach Ertz is out this week, take a look at a guy named Trey Burton. I like me some Trey Burton just in case. Just throwing it out there. Denver, how bad is Brock Osweiler going to be? Emmanuel Sanders is back. Will it matter? Can anybody find them? Can Brock Osweiler find Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders? Also, Jay Ajayi, how many carries does he get in his first week? Is LeGarrette Blount going to be happy? Does Carson Wentz throw for 250 yards against this defense? Lots of questions. Atlanta versus at Carolina. Carolina gets rid of Kelvin Benjamin to help their running game. Does it help their running game? Do they incorporate Curtis Samuel into the offense? Is Devin Funchess ready to be a number 1 receiver? Where is Christian McCaffrey? Can this guy do anything? How about for Atlanta? Will they give the ball to Devonta Freeman? Is this the week that Julio Jones-Roto gets his 180 yards? We've been waiting for it all season. Can Matt Ryan win a game on the road? These are some hot takes. Cincinnati and Jacksonville. What's Jacksonville's one weakness? Their run defense. Is this the week that Joe Mixon finally asserts himself as a future star in this league? Can Andy Dalton not suck as he sucked 2 weeks ago against the Steelers? Will A.J. Green get shut down? Will Tyler Kroft find the end zone? For Jacksonville, how good is Leonard Fournette? Is he recovered from his ankle injury? Marquise Lee, is he 100%? Can Blake Bortles do anything? We'll find out. Indianapolis at Houston. Marlon Mack. Can this guy finally get integrated in the offense? Please. Can T.Y. Hilton finally catch a touchdown at any point? Can Jacoby Brissett play like he did a few weeks ago? What about the Houston Texans? Can Tom Savage lead this team to a victory? This is the best first game he can hope for against the Colts. They're not very good. Can he win this game and rally this team around him? Can Lamar Miller find running holes? Can DeAndre Hopkins get open? Arizona at San Francisco. Is Drew Stanton going to be able to find any receiver all day? Will Adrian Peterson come back and get 100 yards? Right? That's for Arizona. For San Francisco, who will replace Pierre Garçon? Is Marquise Goodwin really that good? How fast can Jimmy Garoppolo learn the offense? Hopefully quickly, because C.J. Beathard's a train wreck. Washington at Seattle. Will Jimmy Graham continue with his touchdown streak? Will there be any pass protection for Russell Wilson? Can the Seahawks run the football? I think Russell Wilson has a big week this week. I do. I think Russell Wilson has a big week this week. Jordan Reed most likely out. Vernon Davis probably has a big week. The battle of the tight ends. VD against JG. Graham against Davis. Will Chris Thompson be nullified this week by the fast linebacking core of the Seahawks? I think he will. Can Jamison Crowder do it 2 weeks in a row? I don't know if he can. The game I really like is Kansas City and Dallas. Starter up, guys. Kareem Hunt. Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Dez Bryant. Love this game. Think there's nobody in Dallas who can cover Tyreek Hill. Nobody. Travis Kelce, I don't think has a big game because Byron Jones is pretty athletic. But I think Kareem Hunt and I think Tyreek Hill have very big games. Big games. Dallas is a totally different team now. Totally different team with Zeke there. Zeke can certainly run the ball. With Zeke, they got a chance. Without Zeke, there was no chance. Zeke's going to get his 100. That's what he does. Oakland at Miami. Jay Cutler back. Will Kenyon Drake get enough carries to be good? Is Damian Williams going to siphon more carries than you think? I think he will. I think he will be more involved than you think. Adam Gase loves this guy. Can Oakland stop any receiver? Will Devontae Parker play this week? I think he does. I think he catches a touchdown. Can Carr continue playing at such a high level? The Dolphins' defense has been better than people think. Dolphins need to win this game, but they got to run the football. And finally, Detroit against Green Bay. Brett Hundley, will the bye week have helped him? I certainly hope so. Detroit is a very solid team, and they're not going to lay down. They're going to play this one. Brett Hundley is going to need to have to win this game because Detroit is not going to lose it. Brett Hundley needs to win it, and that's not easy. All right, so let me give you the upcoming schedule. Tonight, I'll be podcasting with my man Fuego Steve, and you can listen to that podcast on scoutdfs.com. Okay? Should be up tonight about midnight. Tomorrow at 7 a.m., I'll be on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio from 7 to 9 a.m. Next, on Sunday morning, I will be on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio from 10 to 11 with Adam Ronis, doing our thing. You will also find us on ScoutFantasy.com, the premium message boards. If you're not a member of ScoutFantasy.com, go to ScoutFantasy.com, enter the promo code ROTO2017, get half off your first month. We'll be there doing our thing, answering your questions, helping you win your league championship. We'll also be at Scout DFS. Optimizer, lineups, podcast, articles, scout scores, Sean Childs' information. This is a rough week in DFS. Not a lot of great talent out there, so you've got to be very on point with your plays. Got to be very on point this week, and the way to do that is through ScoutDFS.com. All right, time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Wishing you a great week. We're going to get this done. We're going to figure out how to get you to a fantasy championship. Last really, really bad week of buys. Next week is bad, but this is the worst. We're going to get through these 2 weeks, and we're going to win a fantasy championship. This is Dr. Roto saying be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!